Well, everyone, I am in the small town of Frost, Texas. Here's a map real quick. Show you where I'm at. I'm out on foot. I thought I would just kind of explore the downtown a little bit as I tell you about it. It is, as you can see, largely abandoned. All the towns I'm going to show you today are former railroad towns. That's why they're here. And the interesting thing about all three of these towns is that their crime rates are high. I mean, big city high. And I'll compare some big cities that are known for high crime rates as I go along here in the video. But let's jump into population real quick first. Frost's peak population was in 1920. There were 913 people here. Last census, 620. So it has lost some people in population. How about the ethnic breakdown? Here it is. 66% white, 24% Hispanic, 4% black, 6% mix. Yeah. Median age is 37. Now, this is City Hall. Looks like it sits in a old historic building here. Occasional car going by. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Anyway, this part looks a lot more interesting, so let's go over here, shall we? Well, I walk over. Here's the median household income. A surprise, $78,000 a year. That's $1,500 a week. That is, I don't know where all that money's coming from. These people make a lot of money in this town. You don't see it. Maybe someone can explain to us what's going on here. 3.1 people per household. So that's a little higher, but I would have never guessed people in this little town makes that kind of money. Huh. This building is boarded up. Let's see what's inside. Yeah, it's just gutted, isn't it? Not a lot of trash in there, though, like you often see. Or we often see, for that matter. So here's poverty. And it reflects the high incomes, 10.4% overall. Children 17 and under, 10%. Folks 65 and older, 3%. That is very low. Poverty is not an issue here. What's in here? Now this is full of junk, isn't it? All kinds of stuff in there. Cost of living here, here's the index. It's an 85. Housing's the lowest one, 55. Utilities really high, 109. Huh. Now here's where the numbers aren't good. This is the crime rate for the town, scaled up to 100,000. 3718 per 100,000 people. That compares to 2,300, a little over for the U.S. By comparison, here's Chicago, 3673 per 100K. Now, Chicago's in the news all the time for crime. We all know that. Crime here is higher per capita than it is in Chicago. That's just bizarre to me. This appears to be the volunteer fire department. And just some blighted buildings here. All right, yeah, neighborhood straight ahead. Let's check out some of the houses here. Well, there went a cat. I don't know if you guys saw it. Let me see if I can get a shot of him. There he is. Hey, fella. Got a dog running right along the truck here. Let's see if I can see him. Yeah. Can you see him? I don't know. Yeah. Look at that, a big solar panel. That's interesting. Out here in the country, in a yard that's full of stuff. Boy, dogs are everywhere. There's a lot going on in that yard, isn't there? Let's see, I didn't give you median home value yet. Did you hear those roosters? Anyway, here's that. $116,600. I'm not gonna lie, that's higher than I thought it would be. There's downtown in the distance. So everyone, I am in the small town of Dawson, Texas. On the edge of downtown here. While I head that direction, here's a map real quick. Let's see, here is the population history, also real quick. You can see in 1940 there were 1155 people here. Last census 815. So the town is decreasing a little bit. Median age is 44. All right, I'm going to walk out to the main part of downtown. And you can see it's very quiet. Let's do the ethnic breakdown real quick. 74% white, 14% Hispanic, 7% black, 1% Asian, remaining 4% mixed race. And there's a person. That is the post office, so it looks like he just went to the post office. Here is the median household income. $42,083 a year. That is $809 a week. That's more in line of what I kind of expected. Anyway, so here's poverty. 13.9% overall, 17 and under 12%, folks 65 and older 14%. Again, those are pretty good numbers, just like the last town. Not bad at all. Well, so here's the crime rate, again, scaled up to 100,000. 41.57 per 100,000. I mean, that's almost twice higher than the rest of the U.S. Here's a big city comparison. Los Angeles. Los Angeles is in the news all the time for crime. 35.43 per 100K. So the crime rate here is higher than in Los Angeles. Despite the issues that Los Angeles has, or at least that's in the news all the time, it's got a lower crime rate. Mostly because of, well, not necessarily mostly because of, but partially because of Prop 47. In case you're not familiar with it, it's the law in California that allows thefts up to $950 to be classified as misdemeanors, and in most cases, pretty much all cases from what I understand, police aren't even called. So I don't understand it, I'm not going to lie. It just seems to me it would embolden people to steal because there are no repercussions to stealing up to $950. And we've all seen the smash and grab videos and stories on the internet, haven't we? And on the news. I don't understand how a governor signs that into law. It just seems like to me you're asking for it. You're just saying, hey, You can steal up to $9.50 now. Am I wrong? Okay, those of you who support it, if you support it, let me know what you think. Make us understand, those of us who don't get it. Because I know there are many of us who don't. It's, from what understanding though, there is some efforts to repeal it on the books there in California. So maybe some of you Los Angeles natives or even California natives can tell us what's going on. And tell us what you think. Well, there's a fantastic looking old house on the other side of these shrubs. I mean, okay, closer look, you can see it needs some TLC for sure. Wow, a lot of peeling paint. The house itself is kind of awesome. Well, here's the median home value here, $99,500. Well, this is a pretty old church, isn't it? Church, let's see, Church of a New Beginning. Okay. We're on Waco Avenue, by the way. Going back to Los Angeles having a lower crime rate than here, real quick. Some of you are going to say, well, because of Prop 47, a lot of crime in Los Angeles is not even reported. My answer to that is, I agree. That's a very real thing. The Los Angeles crime rate actually might be much higher. Because if someone steals, $200 or $300 from you worth of stuff, the police don't come out, and the crime doesn't even get reported. In many cases, people just have to eat the loss. At least that's what I understand. Now, am I wrong? Again, if I'm wrong, post in the comment section and then explain to me how I am wrong. I went to Reddit and, just typed in Prop 47 California. Very lively discussion there if you want to read it. But what I got out of it is most of the people who live there are really not on board with that law. And there are efforts to get rid of it. It's a pretty church, huh? Anyway, there are efforts to get rid of it, but the politicians of the state seem to be resisting those efforts. Yeah, it should be really interesting to see what happens there in California. All right, everyone, I am in Coolidge, Texas. This downtown is in really bad shape. Let me show you a map real quick. It's across the street. Yeah, this is downtown here. There's just nothing going on. It is in ruins. There's across the street. Here's the population history. Peak population was in 2010, 955 people. Last census 778. This has just been ripped out here, hasn't it? Here's the ethnic breakdown. 63% Hispanic, 20% white, 14% black, 3% mixed race. And median household income real quick. $42,222 a year. That's $812 a week. About the same as last town. What's inside here? Yeah, it's just trashed, isn't it? Wow. This is a total dead zone. Abandoned, isn't it? Well, here's poverty. 12.9% overall. 17 and under, 14%. 65 and older, 4%. That is really low. So Harvey's not bad. That's actually a little bit better than the U.S. overall, especially for older folk. Cost of living, here's the index. It's an 81. Housing is a 43. Utilities, again, high, 109. Yeah, whatever this was, it's been totally ripped out, hasn't it? It's kind of an odd beauty to this, though, isn't there? It's just amazing to see nature retaking, and it is still somehow beautiful. Did you see that bird? What is that up there? Anybody know? On top of that pole? I thought it was a statue for a second, and then I saw, yep, he moved. That's the real deal. Maybe it was a statue to try to scare other creatures off. Looks like he's looking for some mice or something, doesn't he? If anybody knows what's going on there, let us know. I would be interested. Let's see. Again, crime. It's really high here. And this is a Hispanic majority town. The past two were white majority towns. Made no difference. Crime is still high. Here it is scaled up to 100,000. 42.91 per 100K here. Or 100,000 people. Here's a town to compare it to. Mobile, Alabama. You see it in the news concerning crime fairly often. I do. I've seen it on some top 20 and top 30 lists. Wow. Awesome. Crime here is higher than in Mobile, Alabama. So, yeah, you got to ask what's going on. Well, I'm heading directly out of downtown into residential. Look at that guy. Like he owns the place. It's just a couple of his hens. Looks like it, huh? And look at that by the car. Another cat. I'm having a good cat day. Well, that's that house is done for, isn't it? There's no way anybody lives in there. Well, the first thing you notice out here in the neighborhoods of Coolidge is there's no pavement. All the residential streets are gravel. It's amazing that just sits there. It doesn't get torn down or removed. I can't believe that hasn't been torn down. It's fallen down as it is. Interesting. Just slowly disintegrating, isn't it? All right, everyone, so that's going to be the end of this one. Up next, we head across the Deep South. Not only the Deep South, but we're staying in the southern half of those southern states, beginning with Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and then into Georgia. We should have all those done by Christmas, so we will see you guys there.